basically we are having a seminar over here in the temple hall only by His Grace Radha Mohan Das Prabhuji and Her Grace Shama Mohini Devi Dasi Mataji. So the topic of this seminar is like how book distribution is fun and easy. Because a lot of times, even I have found like it's not fun. So now Prabhuji is gonna explain everything about everything. So we would love to see you guys over here if you would like to join. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. If you are free, please join us for some bhajan. It's always nice to chant the names of God and His devotees, right? So, thank you. We have such a wonderful audience here. So many nice friends and family and guests are here. So, if you have a few minutes, please join us. We have some seats available, asan. And we'll sing a bhajan, which is on the screen. Is this Bengali? Yeah, it's in Bengali. And we'll sing it together. Just need to bring this down. Govinda, can you get the other mridanga, please? Now. So we'll start with the translation. So if Shamamuni can kindly. So we know what we are singing. This is a bhajan song by Lochana Das Thakur, and it glorifies Shri Shri Gaur Nitai. For those who are new, perhaps, those are the deities on the leftmost altar. You see the two personalities with their hands raised. So that's Nityananda Prabhu and Gaurachandra, or Gauranga Mahaprabhu, whose birthday is tomorrow. So it's a pre-birthday party here. Okay, so the two lords, Nitai Gaurachandra, are very merciful. They are the essence of all incarnations. The specific significance of these incarnations is that they introduced a process of chanting and dancing that is simply joyful. My dear brother, I request that you just worship Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda with firm conviction and faith. If one wants to be Krishna conscious by this process, one has to give up his engagement in sense gratification. One simply has to chant Hare Krishna, Hari Hari without any motive. My dear brother, just try and examine this. Within the three worlds, there is no one like Lord Chaitanya or Lord Nityananda. Their merciful qualities are so great that upon hearing them, even birds and beasts cry and stones melt. Excuse me. But Lochana Das, the author, regrets that I am entrapped by sense gratification. Since I have no attraction for the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, then Yamraj, the superintendent of death, is punishing me by not allowing me to be attracted by this movement. So, thank you for that. It will be call and response. Prabhu, am I setting it right? Okay. Just, if you don't mind. Okay, Prabhu, thank you. I'll be looking at the words sometimes. Parama Karuna Pahudui Jana Nitai Gora Chandra Parama Karuna Ahudui Jana Nitai Gora Chandra Sab avatara Sara Shiromani Keval Anand Kanda Boliye Sab avatara Sara Shiromani Keval Anand Kanda Parama Karuna Bahudui Jana Nitai Gora Chandra Parama Karuna Jana Nitai Gora Chandra Sab avatara Sara Shiromani Keval Anand Kanda Avatara Sara Shiromani Keval Anand Kanda Bhajo bhajo bhai Chaitanya Nitai Sudrida Vishwas Kori Bhajo bhajo bhai Chaitanya Nitai Sudrida Vishwas Kori Vishaya chhadiya Sera se majhiya Mukhe bolo Hari Hari Sera se majhiya Mukhe bolo Hari Hari Dekho re bhai Tribhuvane nai एमोना दोयाल दाता हे हरे भाई हे भुवने नाय दोयाल दाता पशु पाखी झुरे पाषाण वेदरे सुनी जारा गुण गाथा पशु पाखी birds and beasts सुनी जारा गुण संसारे मझिया रोहिली पोरिया से पदे नहीं लो आशा अपना कर्मा भुंजाए सामना कहो ये लोचन दासा भुंजाए सामना कहो ये लोचन दासा अपना कर्मा भुंजाए सामना कहो ये लोचन दासा मुंजाए सामना कहो ये लोचन परम करुणा बहुदुई जना निताय गोरा चंद्रा सब अवतारा सारा शिरोमणि केवल आनंद कांडा सारा शिरोमणि केवल आनंद गंगा सब अवतारा सारा शिरोमणि केवल आनंद कांदा केवल आनंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे everybody कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे राम हरे राम राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 ना हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna everybody Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Bolo Ananya sing Chiblu ni sing Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram don't worry about it Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jayanti Krishna Hare Ram now everybody has to sing Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Jayo Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada Parama Karuna Bahudue Jana Nitai Gora Chandra, the most merciful Nitai Gaur Chandra, Parama Karuna, Bahudue Jana, Nitai Gora Chandra.
Hare Krishna. My name is Shama Mohini Devidasi and this is Radha Mohan Prabhu. And today we've been requested to speak on book distribution and how it's fun and easy. Many of you are, champion book distributors, and you have been distributing books for a very, very long time. So it's kind of, and I'm sure there's many who are like, what, book distribution? I just walked into the temple and I don't know what to expect, but I'm here anyway. So we're gonna try to make it fun and easy for everybody, and we'll keep it interactive. Those of you who are very experienced can also share your experiences, and those of us who are completely new can also get to know new things. But before we begin, I would like to offer our respects to Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, who's created a beautiful house where everybody can live, and who's created centers all over the world where people can live, stay, practice, be connected, and practice spiritual life even in this mad, wild world. Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Dishatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay. So let's just hear from some of you in the audience. When you think of book distribution or Sankirtan, what comes to mind? Maybe we can take 5. Sorry, you want to say something? Can I, maybe 5 people? Yes, would you like to say something? It's our family business. So 5, maybe we can take 5 quick thoughts on when you think of book distribution and what comes to mind. When you think of Sankirtan, what comes to mind? Somebody break the ice. It can be something good, it can be something scary, it can be, I don't know anything about it, like anything. We're just trying to break the ice.
Only one word or 5? Yeah, like I'm very anxious of doing book distribution because you have to face a lot of failures in reaching out to people and people not responding to you.
Sure. Thank you so much for being opening. Thank you. Thank you for opening, and thank you for being so open. Book distribution is something where no matter how many years you've been doing it, every time you do that, you feel anxious, there is fear of rejection. Thank you. Yes, Prabhuji. Go on.
I'll say it's more like exciting. You're gonna do the same Kirtan here, but outside in the scene, and it's more about making friends and connecting to more people.
So Prabhu feels, you can write, or you want me to repeat? Excited and an opportunity to share. Yes, Prabhuji? Motivation.
Like more, I need to do more. Even like most of rejections, I need to do at least one today, something kind of.
So you feel motivated, or you feel?
I feel motivated to do more service.
You feel motivated to do more service. Wow, we're in a group of really pure devotees here. Prabhu? Right. So you face challenging questions. That could be a positive or a negative, both. Yeah. Thank you. Jayanti? Enriching. Jayanti says it's enriching. Anyone else? Yes. Humbling experience. Prabhuji?
Sense of accomplishment.
Sense of accomplishment. Anybody else would like to say? What are we talking about here? Book distribution, what is it? Anybody? Anybody have that question? Okay, everybody knows what book distribution is. That's great. Enriching. Okay.
Let's get the real stuff out.
You want to say some more? You want to add some more? Prabhu? Anything else? Prabhu, you were really spot on, huh? That's good. What other fears do we experience? Yes?
As an introvert, I feel like I will do a bad job at it.
Say that again.
As an introvert, I think I'll do a bad job at it.
As an introvert, she feels like she'll do a bad job at it. As an introvert, she feels like she will do a bad job. Not for introverts. Book distribution isn't for introverts. Yes?
Sometimes what happens is you give a whole lecture of 30 minutes and then still you won't get a result. Not even for one book.
So he said sometimes you give a lecture for 30 minutes and you won't get the result, not even one book. How would we? Frustrating. No return. Okay, so today we're gonna, should I ask for some more? Freedom.
Yes. Yeah, had two comments. One is like, why? Like, why am I here? Why are we doing it? Like, it's just an existential question. But then other thing is like, okay, I don't have a sales background. Why am I, you know?
Sales background. Why am I doing it? Existential question. Salesperson. Anybody else? Anything? That's not your kind. Not your talent. So, that's not my talent. I'd rather clean here. Very valid point. Thank you.
Any stereotypes? Book distribution is not for kids. Book distribution is not for men. Book distribution is not for women. Book distribution is not for old people. Book distribution is not for like that. I'm just giving some examples. Anybody thinks of things like that? Or book distribution only for brahmachari? Prabhu, please.
It's like, I don't want to waste book on someone who's a non-believer or non-accepting or who's not even aware of the Vedic background.
Qualification of the receiver. Yeah.
You want the slide?
I don't like to ask people for money. Yeah, safety. I don't like to ask people for money. Yeah, what difference is it going to make? What difference will I make or one book make? Anybody else? Okay, so today during our this course of a little less than an hour, we're going to try to address some of these myths, as we like to call them, around book distribution and how it is an intrinsic responsibility for anybody who comes, who comes in touch with spiritual knowledge, how it is not exclusive or just something that belongs to those who are sales type or who are extrovert or who know how to talk to people, and also how Sankirtan is really fun and easy. So that's our goal for today, and we're going to do this by sharing with you the why and the how of book distribution. And then we also hope that many of you who've been going out can share maybe some stories about book distribution and how it enlivens. And then, of course, tomorrow is the appearance day of Lord Chaitanya, who himself is the inaugurator of the Sankirtan movement. Sankirtan is the act of getting together and glorifying the Lord. And typically when we think of glorification of the Lord, we think of Kirtan. And Sankirtan, therefore, is the glorification of the Lord, but not just limited to Kirtan with Mridanga and Kartals, but actually Kirtan with the Brihat Mridanga. Brihat Mridanga means the greatest Mridanga. When we do Kirtan in the temple room, we hope that everybody in the temple will get to hear. Maybe if we're really loud, people on the street can hear. But that's about the scope of the sound that we can create. But when there's a book that travels from one person's hand to the other, to the other, to the other, that's that kind of impact, that Kirtan of the Lord is the Brihad Kirtan. It's the huge, big Kirtan. And that's why in our parampara, and that's what we're going to talk about now, there is a huge importance for book distribution, for sharing books. So we are in something that's called the Sampradaya of the book. Sampradaya is an extended word for family, lineage. You know, in our spiritual line, we come in a particular lineage that Srila Prabhupada has brought. And when we trace it back all the way to Lord Brahma, he's the father of our Sampradaya. There's 4 Sampradayas, which are the 4 original lines of knowledge, and our Sampradaya, the ISKCON family, falls under that, or Lord Brahma. So what do you think is in Lord Brahma's hand? Can anybody see? Yes, it's a book. So the originator of our Sampradaya had a book. And that's how he brought everybody the knowledge, the Vedas. Who is this? Srila Vyasadeva, who compiled all the Vedic literature. So all the literature that we see, we read, we share, was originally compiled by Srila Vyasadeva. So again, what is in his hands? The book. He not only, he was not only the seer of knowledge, but he compiled that knowledge so that people like us, who are not so fortunate just by hearing, can read and then share. Srila Madhvacharya, what is in his hand? What is in his hand? Can you see? It's a book. So we belong to the Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya, and our acharyas, our original masters, they proposed and propagated the use of books. Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatan Goswami, what did they do? They were tasked with 2 things. Lord Chaitanya sent them to Vrindavan with 2 main goals. Anybody know what the goals were? To write books and to excavate temples or places of significance to the pastimes of Shri Radha and Krishna. So they wrote many books, and we use many of their books as our guiding principles in our spiritual life. So the 6 Goswamis, you see them with the books. To jump in when you need, yeah. And coming to the modern day, relatively modern day acharyas in our lineage, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, who was a householder, he was a high court judge, and he wrote many, many books. He was the one who actually revived the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya, and he was the one who, brought the teachings of Lord Chaitanya the first time to the Western world. He sent books to McGill University here in Canada, as most of you know. McGill is a university in Quebec. And it was his vision that he saw a vision one day when he was sitting at his house, that one day people from all over the world will come to Mayapur, which is the holy land of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and chant Harinam Sankirtan. And he wanted all the prestigious people in the world to receive the knowledge of Lord Chaitanya. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is the spiritual master of our Srila Prabhupada, and he gave Srila Prabhupada, who is, our founder Acharya, one very important instruction. He said, if you ever get money, you must print books. He didn't say if you ever get money, build temples. He didn't say if you ever get money, I don't know what other things you can do, but do deity worship. But he said that if you get money, you must print books. And Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, took it to heart. When he arrived in the Western world, in a cargo ship, Jaladuta, on a cargo ship Jaladuta at the Boston Harbor. He did not, what did he have with himself? Do you know? What?
Books.
He had Bhagavatams. The first 3 volumes of the 60-volume Bhagavatam set that he had envisioned. He did not leave Vrindavan till he had those books. And he said that he was bringing them for the re-spiritualization of the world. So our sampradaya, as you can see, is the sampradaya of the book. That's because everybody in our sampradaya is sharing a book, they're talking about a book, and they're encouraging others to share the book. So that's why Sankirtan is a very, very foundational characteristic. You know, it's a very typical thing, like if you're born in a family and the family has a business. I don't know what business families have. Maybe you have a bakery, okay? Then your family is, you know, ever since you're a little kid, there's a certain kind of conversation that happens in the family. You know the best flour to buy, you know what sugar to use for baking, even as a kid, because it's your family business. You may choose to do something else, but that will always remain your family business. So book distribution is like that for us, because our spiritual masters, his spiritual master, they all are connecting us to this activity of book distribution. So again, just a reminder, if you ever get money, you must print books. I took up this from his mouth that he is very fond of books. So Srila Prabhupada is remembering Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And because of Srila Prabhupada, who was instructed to take the message of Lord Chaitanya to the Western world, the marketplace of the holy name spread all over the world. This is the flyer that Srila Prabhupada made when he came to America. So somebody told him, Swamiji, you're going to America. He said, no, I'm not going. Srimad Bhagavatam is going to America. And he would always say that, you know, what will my few words do to somebody? But if you give them a book, then there's a chance. So the vision was 60 volumes of elaborate English version. And Srila Prabhupada had 3 out of those 60 when he came to America. And he said, they will be distributed all over the world for scientific knowledge of God. And Lord Chaitanya, again going back, tomorrow is his appearance day, he said, I want everyone to be immersed in this inundation of love of Godhead. So let's take a pause for a minute. Why do you think spiritual life is important? You know, there's, why should, like, you know, there was a thing about why do we even need to do this? What's the point? What difference is it making? Have you ever wondered about that? Do you feel fortunate? Do you feel like you have something here when you come to the temple? What does it make you feel? Like when you chant Hare Krishna, you know, when you do Kirtan, what does it make you feel? Any quick answers? Happy? Anything? Ecstatic? Anybody? Any other emotions? Any thoughts? You know, how does it make you feel with respect to everything else that's in your life outside of this temple? Positive. What else? Peaceful. What else? Anybody else? Anybody else? You're not reminded of anything negative. You're not reminded of anything negative means that there's a lot of negativity out there. Everybody agree? There's negativity, there's stress, there's uncertainty, there's practically every step somebody takes, there is something dangerous happening in the world. Dangers to your body and dangers to your mind. And we won't even talk about dangers to your soul. Like spiritual life isn't even a consideration out there. Even just living, paying your bills, or studying, going to work, maintaining a family. All of these things are capable of draining every ounce of sanity in you. And still there is no hope. People are frustrated, they're depressed, they're really sad, they're lonely, and they have no knowledge, so there is no hope. That's why it's important to share this knowledge if we have it. Because if we have this knowledge, we understand that the pain and the suffering is there. There's no denying. You know, it's not that once you read the Bhagavad Gita, you don't have to pay your bills. You still have to do that. You still have to go to work. But you have the knowledge that this suffering is temporary. It's there because of something that I have done to deserve it. But with my knowledge, I can prevent this from happening again in the future. That knowledge and that I am a spiritual being, I'm not a material being. When something happens to my mind or my body, it's not happening to me. That tomorrow is going to be a better day, and after this life, I can really enter a realm of spirituality where there's no stress, where there's only happiness, and every step is a dance and every word is a song. We have that experience, we have that knowledge, the theoretical knowledge, and that knowledge is that what makes us happy, it makes us ecstatic, it gives you relief, it gives you peace, it makes you feel positive. Because positivity comes when there is hope. And most people in this world actually have no hope. It's just day after day, the same grind, people are suffering. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it all over social media. Young people who are suffering, they have no solace and they commit suicide. You know, it's scary, the world that we're living in, the world that our children will grow up in. So that's why spiritual knowledge is needed, because spiritual knowledge provides that hope. And we got that hope by some agency. Somebody came to you. Anybody got a book here and they came to the temple? Oh, what a book that must be, Param Gauranga. Well, it doesn't matter where it was, but there was a book that you received that changed your life, or somebody spoke to you. Even if it wasn't a book, somebody spoke to you, somebody gave you a card, somebody posted something on social media that there's an event happening at the Hare Krishna temple, and you saw it and you came. Somebody extended that hope to you, and you grabbed onto it and you came. Then no matter why you came to the temple, you came in, and then somebody gave you that hope. You know, maybe they gave you a service, maybe they gave you a book, maybe they invited you to a program. That was the hope. And then you hung on to the hope, and you created your own little world of hope inside with the sadhana, with the service. And now it's our duty to extend that hope to others, because we got something which helped us. So it's our responsibility to extend it to others. That's a big reason why we should distribute books. And Lord Chaitanya wanted this to happen. Why? Why did Lord Chaitanya want this to happen? Who is Lord Chaitanya? Radha Krishna. But who is Lord Chaitanya? Well, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna nahi anya. Spot on. But who is Lord Chaitanya? Why does it matter if he is Radha Krishna? Yes, Prabhu. He is Krishna himself, avatar of Krishna. What else? He gave the Hare Krishna mantra. He is Sankirtan leader. Yes. So Lord Chaitanya is none other than Shri Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In our Vedic culture, God is someone who is all loving and all caring and all merciful and all forgiving. He wants us to be happy. There's nothing more he wants in this world than for us to be happy. But he wants us to be happy like a very mature, responsible parent. Are there any parents in the group here? I know of some. You know, as a parent, you always want the best for your children. But then, if they don't listen to you, what do? Well, you give them a consequence. You know, I told you to do this. No, you're not going anywhere. You stay with me. But Krishna is not like that. Krishna is all loving and all forgiving. He wants the best for us, and he knows the best for us is in the spiritual world with him in his service. But because we rebel, we want, no, I want to enjoy on my own. So he says, okay, I facilitate this material world for you to stay there, for you to enjoy there, and see, you know, have a nice time. And when you're ready, I'm right there, come back. And in this whole process, what happens is, because we got into this world, then there's lots of distractions for us. But Krishna is still waiting. He's waiting, you know, when this person will realize there's no end to this jumping up and down, happy one day, devastated the other, heartbreak one day, Valentine's the other. There's no end to it. So Krishna wants us to come back, and he creates opportunities for us to come back to him. And those who take the responsibility of giving others the opportunity to come back to Krishna become very dear to Krishna. So anybody who presents a window to the spiritual world for somebody becomes very dear to Krishna. You can see if you have two children and one child is kind of rebelling, but the other one tells him, you should listen, you know, your parents, like Papa really wants the best for you. You know, he's telling you because this is dangerous. So, you know, you feel happy for that child, you feel proud for that child, you feel close to that child. Krishna is like that. If you take the responsibility, okay, you know, today I'm going to go and I'm going to share this book with somebody because I know that this person is suffering, then Krishna feels for us and he provides for us. And by doing so, we grow in our own spiritual life. So not only are we doing this as a responsibility, you know, I have to bring others to Krishna, but we're actually doing this for our own personal growth in our own spiritual life, to get more spiritual credits in this great university of spiritual science. That's how Krishna will help us grow faster. Okay, now Lord Chaitanya wanted everyone to be immersed in this inundation of love of Godhead. Why? Because he knew that there is no happiness outside. Like a fish out of water. You can give a fish an unlimited credit card and send them to the biggest shopping mall. Well, these days people don't even go to the shopping mall. On Amazon, and they can buy whatever they want. But the fish is not going to be happy because the fish needs the water. So Lord Chaitanya wanted everybody to be inundated because he wanted everybody to be happy. By printing books, we can actually inject our movement into the masses of people all over the world. This is Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada's desire was that we print books in as many languages as possible and share them widely. I like this idea of distributing books and preaching. That is Lord Chaitanya's plan. Lord Chaitanya, whose birthday is tomorrow, he instructed everybody, whoever you meet, wherever you go, you must introduce them to the spiritual science. Sankirtan is fun. Okay, all this about the whys, you know, why we should do it. We should do it to share it because people are suffering. We should do it because we want to become dear to Krishna. We should do it because our teachers told us, and if you're good students, you always want to please the teacher. But it's not something which is very difficult. Because when we think of spiritual life, at least before many of us come to Krishna consciousness, we think of spiritual life as an austerity, you know, somebody in the Himalayas sitting there for 10,000 years meditating. Is that something that comes to your mind when you think of spiritual life? Not anymore, but before you came to Krishna consciousness? Or like you have to give away many things, you know, not eat as much, maybe that came to your mind before you came to the temple. But Sankirtan and spiritual life is actually fun, organized, and everyone's welcome. And now we're going to talk about some of the hows of Sankirtan. One of the most important things that our prime objective in going on book distribution is to leave everyone with a good impression. It's not to distribute a book. It's not to take somebody back to Krishna. It's not to get some money for the temple. It's not to win our campaigns. You know, if you've seen me come up and tell you this is our goal, that's not the goal of book distribution. What is our prime directive is to leave everyone, every single person with a good impression.
Repeat it, everybody. What's our prime directive today? Thank you.
How can you leave everyone with a good impression? And why is it important to leave everyone with a good impression? Do you know? Okay, I'm going to talk. We leave everyone with a good impression because the journey of our life is a continuous process. You may meet somebody today who's not ready to take the book, or ready to come to the temple, or ready to chant Hare Krishna. But it's a continuous process. Tomorrow they may meet somebody when they're ready. But if you left them with a good impression, they become more open. Otherwise, if you leave them with a bad impression, the next time they see a Hare Krishna, they're going to take the other side of the street and go away. Or worse, they're going to actually become even more not interested in spiritual life. So it's our responsibility to leave everybody with a good impression. And the ways in which you can leave everybody with a good impression, is preaching means giving. So if you're meeting somebody, you give them a Maha Mantra, you give them a candy, you give them, what else, that's Geet Prabhu, what else can you give? You give them a smile, give them nice words.
Temple card.
Temple card. Tea, sure, yeah.
Tea in Canada, yeah.
Cookies, yes. What else? What else can you give them? Give them. Smile. That's the most important thing you can give them. Imagine you're like a really fired up book distributor, but you're so angry at everybody because they're so fallen and they have nothing to do with Krishna, what would your demeanor be like? Nikhil Prabhu? I'm sure you have a different story. Could you please come up and show us how somebody who's like really angry at other people who are not interested in Krishna would behave on the street? Come on, Prabhu, help me out.
Yeah. Be yourself. No, I'm joking.
No, you're really, really kind. But
Be
fake
exact
it.
opposite.
Fake
Be
it.
opposite to yourself.
Show me like a really angry book distributor. Yeah, with me. Do it. Like really angry, fanatic.
Be opposite to yourself, bro.
Be like me. Be like us. Well, he definitely left him with an impression.
Call the police.
Thank you. Okay, now if you wanted to leave somebody with a good impression, like a really, like your style of book distribution, how would you do it? All good. Thank you. So you saw how he, give him a hand. You saw how he connected and how there was an exchange of a smile, there was a greeting. So being in that position, coming in that position where you're not here to change the world, but you're actually here to just to purify your own self. We're doing it, remember those extra credits from Krishna? We're doing it for our own sake. We're not doing this to change anybody else. That's why we're doing this. And when you feel like that, then you actually feel very like giving and kind. So what is our prime directive, everybody?
Leave everyone with a good impression.
Leave everyone with a good impression. Thank you. Here are some other principles behind the mood. So touch the pavement, which means that we don't have big goals. You know, somebody said, I may go out for speak for half an hour, but the person may not even take the book. That's fine, because our goal is to go for our self-purification. And you know, when we stand there and people reject us, no, don't even look at you. Sometimes that happens. How many of you have had that experience? You're standing there, but people don't even look at you, like you don't exist. When that happens to us, that's actually purification. It's like curing it's building up the spiritual blood for our spiritual body. It's inconvenient, right? If somebody ignores you, how do you feel? Of course bad. And it makes, sometimes like depending on who ignores you, you may even burn inside with anger. But that bad feeling, that sadness, that rejection actually builds our spiritual blood. And the spiritual blood that takes us to the spiritual world in our spiritual body, the Chitta Rakta. So that's why it's important. So when you do that, speak to somebody for half an hour and they don't take the book, you've built gallons of spiritual blood. Okay? But the most important thing is we touch the pavement. What does it mean to touch the pavement? It means that we just go out. Like it's like a checkbox. I went out. Because the way the nature of the mind is, it always makes us resist anything that can help us. Forget it. It's so cold outside. Who will go on books? Nobody ever takes a book from you. You just go back to sleep. Well, what's the point? You know, I will stay in the temple and do some cleaning. The mind says, there is so much service in the kitchen, Prabhu. I will stay and help here. Or, oh, I haven't read anything in many days. Let me sit and read Bhagavad Gita. What will I share if I don't know myself? How many doubts like this come to the mind? Any other doubts that come to mind? They come, right? Wholesale. No exhaustion of the excuses of the mind. But the goal is you have to tell your mind, okay, it is my promise. I have to touch the pavement. So I will just go out. I will not distribute, but I will go out and I will touch the pavement. So that's the goal. Just touch the pavement, because when you go out, then slowly, step by step, Krishna will arrange. We have to do our thing. We showed up. We vote by our feet, like Vaisheshika Prabhu says.
Just to add and give you a little break. Now, the hardest thing, Vaisheshika Prabhu always remind, the hardest thing in going out is actually to get out of the door. And it's on a practical note, when, if you're organizing a group, like a team of devotees going out, like say from the temple, if you're going by yourself, yes, we have those challenges. Okay, maybe not today, excuses. But imagine if you're organizing a team, it just becomes even more challenging. From a purely logistics perspective, getting all the devotees together, people are not on time, they're not ready, getting the rides ready, prasadam. So my point is, this includes that the hardest thing is just to get out. And the moment we leave, the cars leave or the bikes leave or the group leaves, it's actually quite relieving. The moment you reach the street or to your spot, it's quite a relief that, wow, I made it. And now everything else is a bonus. So just...
Thank you. So the goal is touch the pavement. Don't worry about how many books you distribute. Don't worry about how many people you met. Don't worry even if nobody stops to see you. Krishna notices that you showed up, that you made the effort, and you get 100 points for the effort, for showing up. We should treat people with respect. Everybody, every jiva is a part and parcel of Krishna. They deserve the respect, even if they may not have the knowledge yet. But if we're disrespectful, if we're condescending, it doesn't serve the purpose of leaving everybody with a good impression. Offer kind words. Let's hear it for Jayanti.
Oh my God. This was photoshopped, okay? It's an imaginary image. It didn't
So
happen.
offer kind words. Nityananda Prabhu said to Prabhuji, oh, you have a really nice shirt. It's a simple comment, like observe people. Another thing that we can give people is our attention. Because when we give attention to a jiva, the soul is very subtle, and they recognize that. They recognize that this person is giving me attention, and they have something good to share. They will reciprocate with you. So offer some nice words. It could be their dress, it could be their smile, it could be their dog. Connect. It helps you connect with them. Practice reflective listening. It's very hard to say who's who here, but this is our Krishna Ganga Prabhu.
Haribo!
People have a lot of pain in their heart. Always ask a question and facilitate their sharing. Don't go like, this is the Bhagavad Gita, like this is the thing for you, you don't know anything in your life, I know everything, this is for you. Practice reflective listening, like reflect what they're sharing and build a connection. The most important thing is to build a connection. Don't be condescending. Make people feel special. Where are you from and what do you do? Like anything that, because everybody is special, because they're unique. In Krishna's manufacturing department, there's no two pieces that are the same. Every single one of us is unique. And Krishna has made us that way because there's a purpose for us. So everybody is really special. I think we shy away from making people feel special because we feel that it will downsize our speciality. We feel like, what's so special about you? I do the same and much better. You feel like that ever? I feel like that. But Krishna has given everybody their own independent portfolio and there's no competition. And he's noticing everything that we're doing. So we should liberally make people feel special. Express gratitude. Thank you for stopping. Thank you for, listening. Thank you for taking time. Our motto is always better service. So our competition is with our own self. Many times, we don't do it nowadays, but sometimes people compare the number of books that people distribute. Oh, I did 50, I did 1. But the competition is... You have that experience? I'm sure you do. So it isn't with each other, it's with ourselves. You did 50 today, do 55 tomorrow, do 60, do 100. But our goal is to have always better service, sharpen our tools so we can do better service. We're all Krishna's instruments. So in reality, who is going to take a book, who isn't going to take a book, is really not in our control. You may give your best speech, you may have the best tools, but still the person may not take the book. And you may actually just be standing like a statue there and somebody may come and take the book. Because Krishna is orchestrating. So if Krishna is working through us, he's also working in the other person's heart. And he will send that person when he's ready to receive the book. But we must show up and get the credit. We should remain humble and hungry for more service. Don't get proud. This is a picture from the story of Lord Brahma, where he got really proud and he tried to play tricks with Krishna. But we must not do that. We must remain humble and hungry for service. And the foundational principle of all this is I save one soul at a time, starting with myself. So what that means is that we're out here to, Sankirtan, to save souls and to save people, but the first person that we must save is ourselves. So we must have a really strong routine of our sadhana, our japa, our chanting, our reading, our association, our prasadam. Everything has to be fortified, and then we can set out to save the world. I'm sure most of you know in airplanes how they say, if you have to help somebody else with a mask, put your mask on first. Pick the ripe fruits. This is a big one, and now we're going to get to some really, really more tangible, practical tips. Many times when we're on the book distribution, you may see somebody who's like really not interested in what you have to offer, and they don't even look at you. What should you do to somebody like that?
Let them go.
Let them go. Don't try to get them back. How many of you like mangoes? Woo. That's it? What about all of you? You don't like mangoes? It's the best fruit on earth. But I like mangoes. So, have you ever plucked a mango from a tree? I have. A ripe mango is like red or orange or softer, and an unripe mango is green, it's hard, and it's stuck to the branch. If you try to pluck an unripe mango, are you successful? No. Well, you may be successful, but does it taste like you wanted it to taste? No. It becomes really bitter. Not bitter, but like, yeah. So if you try to pluck or pull an unripe mango, you can damage the branch. And you lose the prospects of that unripe mango becoming ripe. But if you wait for a ripe mango that's ripe, you just touch it like this, and the mango pops in your hands. This is the same thing with apples. If you go apple picking, they will tell you, if you just touch the apple, it will fall in your hands. But if you have to pull the apple, that means it's not ready. So only pick the ripe fruits. Ripe fruits are people who are ready, who are open. If they're not ready, if they want to, not have anything to do with you, let them go, leave them with a good impression. This is ripe, unripe. Can you see the difference? Somebody who's ripe and somebody who's unripe. Unripe people will either just ignore you or they'll come and argue with you. What else? What else do unripe people do? Can you show us an example of a ripe person and an unripe person, please?
Myself?
Yeah, come on. Ripe or unripe? Ready. He's ready to move into the Bhakti Academy. Okay, come back. Unripe. Can you do another take on the unripe? Prabhu, come and do another take on the unripe. Anything, just another take. This is the one who ignores you. Unripe. Leave the unripe mangoes alone because the world is full of many ripe ones. Get the ripe ones, it becomes easy for you. Thank you. Goals are potent. If we have a goal, all our energy moves towards it. Your goal can be very simple. I will go out once a month on book distribution. Or I will set up the Sunday feast table twice a month. Or I will talk to one person in this week about something related to Krishna consciousness. But have a goal. When we have a goal, it's like the light switch that we flick and the room becomes illuminated. If there's no goal, there's no way to go. So goals are potent. Where attention goes, energy flows. Which means that wherever we put our attention, we start putting the energy towards it. And if there's no attention, then there's no energy and nothing happens. So make it, if you'd like to participate, make it a goal. Once a month. We go out together, all of us in the community. Once a month, we have a monthly Sankirtan festival. And it is just what the name says. It's a festival where all of us get together. If the weather is good, we put a table outside and we do chanting. There's prasadam distribution, and some of us distribute books. But otherwise, if it's not so good, then we go door to door knocking, and people are just so happy to see us at their door. Oh, you know, they call you inside, they offer you all kinds of things. Sometimes they don't want anything to do with you, and you just politely leave. But it's really nice, and our goal is to leave everybody with a good impression, not to get the books, not to fill up the banks, you know, it's just to leave everybody with a good impression. And a lot of people each doing a little bit. So the Sankirtan, you remember the collective chanting? It's a collective effort. It's not a one-man show or a one-woman show. It's everybody doing a little bit. Because you know what? The person you will meet on the street, I may never meet them. So a lot of people each doing a little bit. And this thing was brought up that, you know, what's the difference? If I give one book, what difference will it make? But there's numerous stories where actually just distributing one book changed a person's life. And that may be the only book you distribute. But imagine somebody who received it, their life's transformed. They understand why the world is the way it is, why they have to suffer, what's going to happen after they leave their body, like all these things. So a lot of people each doing a little bit. And I must add here that Sankirtan or book distribution just doesn't mean standing out on the street or knocking at somebody's door. There's many backup services. Here, Madan Gopinath Prabhu here and his team, they organize the book room. So there's so many, like, you know, you can clean in the book room, you can stamp the books, you can organize packing the books for devotees who go out, you can drive the devotees who go out, you can prepare prasadam for the devotees who go out. Any other backup services anybody would like to shout out for? You can find locations for devotees to go, you can find festivals where we distribute books, and all of it counts. It's not just the person who's standing on the front who's distributing the book, because it's a team effort. You can help with ordering the books. There's just so much. There's so much for your talents to be engaged. You can create some nice creative posters for book distribution. You can create a fancy video that people can forward on WhatsApp, and you know, you can play mridanga. There's so many different things you can do. A lot of people, there you go. There's something for everyone. It's Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement. He has a full basket of unlimited fruits, and you can pick whatever suits you. But be connected, because that's our family business. You can do it in your own way, but you must do it. It's our debt to Srila Prabhupada. It's our debt to the people who brought us in this temple. Somebody gave us the knowledge. Maybe it was your parents. Maybe it was your friend. But somebody gave it to you. You can't repay them. You can't give them you can pay them for the book, but you can't repay them for the act. It's a rin, something that we call in the Vedic culture rin, or debt. That rin cannot be exhausted by giving them back. It's always paid forward. So that's why you must pick a fruit. You can pick the fruit of your choice, but must pick and have a stake. Srila Prabhupada said, we are the Sankirtan movement. Everybody should go out on books. Everybody. Do a little bit. Your main service may be something else. You may like to sing in the temple. You may like to clean. You may like to cook. But you must pass that, share that thing forward. The debt has to be paid off. And it has to be done by paying it forward. So we must take up something. Sankirtan is fun and easy. And that's our Toronto street Sankirtan. So he just stepped, I think, with Kalindi. So the great art of book distribution, how much time? I can't see the time. 7:41. Okay, so now some really, really practical stuff, you know. Okay, all this is great. I'm fired up. I want to go out. I want to leave everybody with a good impression. I want to please Srila Prabhupada, but what do I do? When I stand there, what should I say? How should I stop the person, you know? So this, I need your help for this, Prabhu. The great art of book distribution. And this and all of what we share today is based off this book from Vaisheshika Prabhu, who is our Sankirtan Acharya. He's a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and he's been doing book distribution for over almost 50 years now, and he's training communities all over the world to practice this lifestyle of giving. You can be working a high-profile corporate job, you can have 10 kids, but you're still connected because it's our family business. So that's what Vaisheshika Prabhu has given, and we're going to talk about some practical tips, okay? How to distribute a Gita on its own merit. It's important to know how to distribute it on its own merit, because we're not lying to distribute a book. We're not exaggerating to distribute a book. We're not faking it. The Bhagavad Gita is very potent, and is capable of being distributed on its own merit. So there are 8 steps in how to distribute a Bhagavad Gita, and the first step is a radar. So what does that mean?
So everybody, let's find it ourselves. Please stick out your right hand, perhaps. Yes. And I'm going to share a mantra. So it's like a radar. You know, how do you say, like you send a signal, and what's the function of radar? You catch it back, right? So the mantra is, hi. So yeah, please try it. It's like you're sending your signal and waiting for it and see the response. So you bring out your hand and a nice smile. So imagine you're standing on the street, like part of a team, you have a table and everything, and you're starting it, right? So you see somebody coming, and we take out our radar and hi, hi. So that's it. And then what happens? You see what comes back. So this is the real test. We can't judge a person based on how they are dressed, or how sophisticated or not unsophisticated they look. We have had so many examples. We see people in like the brightest clothes, and they look so amazing, and we think, wow, he or she will definitely stop and take, but they surprise you. And the other side, see somebody just like perhaps a bum on the street, or almost like, oh wow, this person can never, and they have come forward and not just bought books, and they are just amazing people. So the best way to judge a person is to send this signal and see how they respond. And we saw some examples. If they don't send any signal back, unripe fruit, just leave a good impression, have a nice day, or something, and let them go. And if they smile back, they say hi back, or they come to you, then there's a chance.
So the radar helps us qualify, like Prabhu was saying, it helps qualify the ripe and the unripe fruits.
And then of course there are variations of that, if you're knocking a door or you're stopping, but that's the principle, like sends a signal. And hands are usually very powerful, like it says, trust your hand. Mahabhagat Prabhu, Haribo! Trust the hand, yes. And then, and now we're talking about obviously somebody who's favorable, who's working with you. So if they actually respond, they come to you, you say hi, like Nityananda Prabhu had done, and then you always keep the book with you. So please don't stick out the book first. We don't know, it's a stranger. And the person is also worried, like surprised, like why is this? They don't know, what is he giving? So book is like Krishna, like your little baby. You don't want to give him away to a stranger. So we want to qualify the person. So generally you'll see everybody has different styles. We keep a bag. Many distributors keep a little bag. You keep few books there. Rest of the books can be on the table. But you may have your favorite book like a Bhagavad Gita and a little small book. You keep it there, or you see many devotees also keep it like that. So your hands are free to shake hands or send signal or something like that. One of the most common mistakes we all do is, always just like, please, please, please,
Or showing the book like
yeah,
from a
showing,
distance.
just like, people are going by, you're at Young and Dundas, and it's like, so which is fine. I'm not saying it's not, it may not work, but it's just not so effective. Because the other person is thinking, I don't know this person, like why is he or she just, trying to stuff something at me. Instead, if we follow this, which is send a signal like a nice hi, a little connection, and then if they stop,
Sorry.
yeah, and then, we have to show it. So, somebody comes, she's favorable. Hi. Oh, hi. How are you? I'm good. How are you? Nice t-shirt you have. Yeah. And then the principle of trust the hand is, as you're talking, you ask a question. Right? The question is on the next slide.
No.
Yeah. And then it goes. Books on yoga and meditation shows you how to get free from stress and anxiety. Oh, so nice. So see, like that. So the idea is, when you're giving the book out, usually the hands grab. That's the function of a hand. Eyes watch, ears listen. But what is the function of hand?
Hands
they generally grab things, like giving out. So as you're passing the book, you say, books on yoga and meditation shows you how to become free from stress and anxiety. Have you heard of stress before? Yes. Yes. So then comes the point of always asking a question. Question is like a question mark. And question mark resembles what?
A hook.
A hook. So like they say, the person who is asking the question controls the conversation in many ways, right? So the idea is, not to be artificial, but you're genuinely asking a question. Not just a straight yes, no, but then you ask, let me try again. Books on yoga and meditation shows you how to become free from stress. Have you heard of stress before?
Oh, yes. Sometimes.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
all the time.
But you look very peace and calm. You don't look very stressed. What's your secret?
Oh, I try to meditate. I try to meditate. I sleep a lot.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Well, I wish more people can do that. I see yoga meltdown. Like, do you do a lot of yoga as well?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it's on your smile. So thank you. So that's kind of the first part where you strike a little connection through a radar. You see it's favorable. Then you ask a question. And let's try the other way. Hey, hi.
Hi.
Book on yoga and meditation shows you how to become free from stress. Have you heard of stress before?
Yeah, I do.
Say the other way. No.
Oh, no.
No?
I don't need this.
No, say I'm not stressed.
No, I'm not stressed.
Really, I could tell that just by looking at you. What's your secret?
I like to do yoga.
Okay, so you get that. So it's just a little, some people will say, yeah, I'm stressed. And then you say, oh, really? You don't look stressed. What's your secret? And if somebody says, no, I'm not stressed, I'm very peaceful, you say, of course, I could see it in your eyes. What's your secret? So just a way to, appreciate the person and continue the conversation with the hook. So and then the second part is, now the person has stopped, there is a little connection. He or she is not like running away. Now is your opportunity to actually introduce the book. Not the 30-minute Bhagavatam class, Prabhu, of course, that is the caveat. It has to be quick because people are busy, people are in rush. So now you take the book back and do what? Then our goal is, as we said, everything you need to distribute a Bhagavad Gita is on the book actually. You don't need anything else. We just had to go through the steps. So next thing is called name dropping, which means we are trying to build credibility. We are showing credentials of how powerful this knowledge is, before talking about it. So if you hold the book, you'll see at the back, you start talking about all these philosophers, famous people. Have you heard of Thoreau, Emerson, Mahatma Gandhi? They all read this book. The person is like, wow, I can appreciate. Then you talk about the different universities. You said this book is is accepted in all the universities, like the Georgetown University and locally at University of Toronto. Then you talk about, you show, like as you're moving show and tell, if you go to the front page where they talk about how many copies have been printed, you can say, look, over 3 million. 3 million copies are in print. So by saying these statistics, which is on the book, it builds some credibility that, wow, this is something very powerful, right? And then you open the book, and that's why the hard copy helps, which has the Sanskrit, the actual Sanskrit writing. This one doesn't. And then you can say, look at this. Can you read this?
No.
Like that. It will show like this Devanagari script. Obviously, many of us may not be able to read it. You can say, wow, this is Sanskrit. It's a very ancient language. But this knowledge has been translated over 500 times. And this version is one of the most authentic in English, like that. So you're just saying, this has been translated in English over 400 times. I was very close. Out of all the translation, this is the most popular in the universities, the as it is version. And then, as I mentioned, you give some endorsements of the universities. So by doing this, so far, we have connected with the person and we have, we have built some credibility. We have, built some authentic appreciation. And none of those things were fake, like that's real facts. Now, in the next few minutes, we just quickly show some pictures. So as they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So in every Bhagavad Gita, you have to get into the habit of practice of getting to the picture page. And I'm used to the hard version. Where is it? Oh, here. You can see the little thing. And everybody knows, right? We have these plates of nice pictures. So it will really help to have the hard cover. Oh, it's right here. Sorry. Okay. So please, the first thing to do is quickly get to this changing bodies picture. Everybody has seen that? It's also on the screen. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, you can work with it. So we jump to this page and remember the hook. We have to, the one who is asking the question controls the conversation. Then you say, look at this picture. As you can see, we are just passing through. You show the little baby all the way down. No philosophy, no details, nothing. Very quick. As you can see, we start here as a baby. Yeah. And we end here. You can see we're just passing through. And what's the question? Where are you on this picture today? Always end with a question. I'm going to ask you, where are you on this picture today? Tell me. You know, most people will say, I'm here. If you meet a student, you see a book, a guy with a book, or if somebody is older, they will point out, this picture is so powerful. And that's it. You say, as you can see, we're just passing through. Thank you, Prabhu.
Then you move on to the next plate, which says, there's a learned sage sees with equal vision an elephant, a brahmana, a dog, and a dog eater.
Because he sees spirit in every person. So with equal vision, this book tells you how to be equal and respect everybody. So we are building that appreciation for that. That's the thing. A self-realized person treats everyone with respect because he or she sees God or spirit within everyone's heart. And then we jump to, it's a very important question we ask. See, by this time, there is some, the person is friendly and he or she is working with you. Then you ask the question, have you heard of karma before? Have you heard of karma before?
Yes.
99.9% of the people will say, yes, they have heard it somewhere. And then you ask the question, what does karma mean to you in your own words?
What goes around comes around.
Wow. Another version.
Do unto others how you want to be treated.
Wow, I really like the way you said it. And we have heard versions from anywhere in this world to anything. People will be like, karma, this, that. So, lot of different understandings. But please honor that, appreciate it. Wow, that's a great explanation because everybody has their own understanding. And then you switch to which page? Okay, you appreciate. If more people in this world think like you, it will be a better place. And then you get to the karma. So when you're saying that, you show this. This photo is not on the slide, but you see this one? Very powerful image. And then you say, what goes around comes around. Violence breeds violence. But guess what? Generosity breeds generosity. So again, not too much detail, not getting into vegetarianism, nothing like that, please. Very, very short. Just let the image, picture, have an impact. And then just to break the ice a little bit more on a lighter note, we ask. By the way, what do you do professionally?
I'm a sales manager.
Another answer?
I'm a teacher.
I'm a teacher. We have some exam. I'm a civil engineer. And then you jump to that photo with this person here, this yogi, which is on the slide. Every Bhagavad Gita has that picture. And then you say, this guy used to be a salesperson. This guy used to be a civil engineer. This guy used to be a teacher. This guy used to be a dancer. 50% of the people will say, really? And then you say, no, I'm just joking. And other 50% will just laugh. Understand? So it's just to break the ice, and because we are coming, there's a little humor, because we are coming to the conclusion to ask for donation. No money. We're asking for donation. And then you say, and then you take the book back, and you close the book and say, well, the book was with you, sorry. You close the book and pass it back to the person and say, we don't sell these books like in store. We're doing it as a benefit to share this knowledge with people all over the world, and we ask for a donation or some variations of that. We just ask for a donation. So you leave the ball in the person's court. You made it very clear it's not free. We are not selling it, but we're asking for a donation. And there is absolutely no problem in doing that. Because you're not making the person feel uncomfortable. You're leaving the ball in her court. And more importantly, you qualify. This is something worth memorizing. We actually don't need the money. The only reason we ask for a donation is because this is an ancient tradition of giving dakshina. When you give something in return for spiritual knowledge, it connects you to the previous teachers who have passed this knowledge down over many, many generations, and it allows you to enter this knowledge deeply. So, in your own words, you can say that it's not just about money, it's about the fact that you're giving something in exchange for spiritual knowledge. And then most people actually give something, and then usually ask, how much? And then you just give some facts, say, it costs us about $10 for printing, shipping, bringing it here and all those things. Anything more than 10 is donation. Give anything from your heart, like that. So again, it costs us X dollars to print, ship. Anything you give over that is a donation. And if the person is really affected, he or she will give something. And don't negotiate at that time. Okay, so I think we can.
Yeah.
So this is really a whole kind of a little script with some
Sorry,
practice.
I'm just going to go back to the slide which has the... Here.
Yeah.
The 8 steps for distributing the Bhagavad Gita. The radar that Prabhu taught. Hi. That qualifies the people. If they give you the radar back, then you...
Giving the Bhagavad Gita and starting your question answer. So that if the book goes to the hand, then we give a nutshell presentation, very, very quick. No details, show and tell, show the pictures and give a quick summary with some questions and some interaction. Then compliment, at the karma slide, then some humor with the yogi slide, and engage, in the end, and ask for a donation.
Okay.
Okay.
We have some comebacks here, but I'm just conscious of the time that
It's okay, we can
it's
skip
8
that.
o'clock. So, does anybody have any questions based on what we shared? And we will be available because the doors are about to open and I do want to wrap up. We're going to be here if you have questions. We can also share this script with you on a paper so that if you want to follow it word for word, you can do it. This is something that Vaisheshika Prabhu has shared, and there's devotees all over the world who are using it. Like if you use it, money back guarantee. You use it, it's going to be successful. So we just thank all of you for your kind attention and presence here today. Please join us next Saturday. We're going to go out for the monthly Sankirtan festival. Please come and be a part of it. Tomorrow is Lord Chaitanya's appearance day. He is the one who brought this Sankirtan movement out for us. If you do not have Lord Chaitanya's biography, we request you all to please take the Chaitanya Charitamrita